So you're looking around, you're trying to figure out, what dirt bike do I get my wife for Christmas? Well, here's a woman's perspective from my personal experience of what I think. So my height is 5'6". I'm making this video as a request. It's actually probably a pretty good idea. There's a lot of different bikes, a lot of different types of riders, etc. But I got my 2002 YZ125 over here laying on the ground because I don't have a triangle. I haven't had a triangle for 10 years. So that's my first thing, is your wife will be okay with having a kickstand. It's really something missing. I wish I had one. I could probably buy one. I don't know, but we might be looking at a new bike soon, so we'll see. But I'm 5'6", I don't know if I said that yet, and this is what it looks like with riding boots on, standing on this bike. Another good thing about YZs is they're light, so when you do fall, you can pick it up pretty easily. It's not a lot. Not having to do this. If I'm tired, I will, but for the most part, I can pick it up relatively easy. I can sling it around, but I have to use my leg. So, I mean, I can grab it right here. I know the newer bikes have these, the handles up here. The only bad thing about handles is when you lift it up, you're letting the spring up. I know you are here too, but for some reason it doesn't feel like you have more leverage down here anyway. So I see people lifting up back here, but anyway, I can lift it. I just have to use my leg, and some days are better than others. I can kind of drag the front tire if I need to, but I will say I have a lot of upper body strength for a female in general anyway. But this is flat ground right here. See, and I'm sitting where I'm supposed to sit. So that's one thing, teach your wife where to sit and she'll be able to touch better. So this is me even. You should be able to see my toes. My boots are touching, but my actual feet, I mean, I'm on tiptoes right now. But I don't usually stand like this. The only time you would be like this would be if you're racing, you know, and you're at the start, but I can still do it, just kind of teeter-totter. And he might be able to have a brick anyway, so it probably doesn't matter. A lot of the best riders are actually short, so it's not really a deterrent. And then if I'm just like sitting, talking, right now I'm flat-footed, I got my hamstring sitting on here, I can talk. This is kind of uncomfortable. If I want to get more comfortable, I'm like this. If I'm sitting for a long time, I mean, I'm all the way up to my knee. So if your wife's or your girlfriend or whoever, you know, daughter is shorter than 5'6", they can still be okay. And then another thing too is I've had a tall bike in the past, and it was a lot. It was also a 4-stroke. It didn't have an e-start, so there's that too. And I'll explain more later, probably inside. But here's a visual of me standing on a bike, 5'6". Like I said, I mean, cranking it is not bad because I can still be flat-footed and crank it just fine. I've had a bike before where I was like 4-stroke, where you need a lot of oomph to get it down, you know. And then sometimes too, I'll lean against something, I'll have my handlebars against something, and I'm doing it with both feet. So this is what I look like, I guess, because I was over here so you couldn't really see. So like, if I'm coming at the stop or something, I'm always kind of having to switch and have one foot up. But this is relatively like comfortable, just kind of like waiting for a second. And then this is how I am when I'm like talking. I'm all like this, pretty relaxed, and then ready to go. Another thing I do too, which I kind of find fun, is if I don't feel like push starting it, I run and I jump on like as a horse, you know, and I just do that. It's hard to do sitting still, but that's another way to just get on real quick too. You just kind of have to lean down low, jump up, and usually when I land, I'm kind of leaning a little more forward. But I think that's everything. I still can't do a stoppie. I don't know if that has to do with not being able to like stop and be able to catch myself real quick, because I just usually stop and end up falling over because it's kind of shorter. But it's doable. It's doable. I'm very comfortable on this bike. I've done this bike for a long time. And the rooster says hi. Let's go talk inside. So let me go over the bikes that I have ridden and how I felt on them. Now, so I want to say we had a 2001, I'm almost positive it was 2001, KX 125, way shorter than my bike. Like, it might have been the size of a CRF 150, not really sure, but it was definitely shorter. Didn't like that because I was used to being up higher, and it just made me uncomfortable, I guess. I don't know, could have even just been suspension stuff, I have no idea. But I will say it's definitely a shorter bike, for sure. And then, let's see, we had a 2005 CRF 250R, which was also pretty short. Now, I don't know if it was the same size as my YZ, because at the time, I didn't have my YZ. I had an RMZ 250 2006. And this bike, for whatever reason, they did a tall year, I don't know. And usually you can get, from my understanding, you can get a lowering link and make the bike a little shorter. We tried to adjust suspension, everything. You know, that's a bad idea, but we tried it, and in reality, it just made it go up higher. So that didn't work. And it was horrible. I'm gonna find a picture. Here's a picture of my calf that I bruised from trying to crank this bike. And yeah. So needless to say, that hurt really bad. Never wanted to do it again. Terrifies me to even think about it. So I never really got to finish the video, and I was supposed to do it in December. It's now February, so catch my drift. Anyway, having a tall bike that's a 4-stroke without e-start and being heavy, extremely difficult, is kind of what I was getting at. And then the only other thing I've learned since then is apparently there's a thing about big wheels and small wheels. I don't know. I never really knew the difference. Just had a normal YZ 125, whatever wheel comes on it. So maybe the other bikes I was talking about had small wheels on it and I just didn't know it. Not really sure, but they definitely seemed way smaller than my YZ 125. 2002. I don't know if frames make a difference. I don't really know. There's a lot of details that I don't know. But I will say, I said that I've had that bike for a long time. I'm 30, how old am I now? 30, how old am I? 31. I'm 31 now. I'm 31 now. I've had the bike since I was like 14. I wasn't always 5'6" when I had the bike. I think I was probably 5'5" when I got it. I mean, I might have grew like an inch in between. So, and when I first got it and went from the XR100 to the YZ125, yes, it was a little difficult. It was a learning curve, but at the end of the day, I was much happier because I was on a bike that would perform to my level of riding. But having performance to your riding capabilities is better, because I mean, you're only going to be stopped so much, and if you stop and you fall over, just get back up. It's fine. I did it all the time. I still do it. So, I mean, I don't do it as much now unless I try to do a stoppie, which we've already discussed. So, yeah, don't be afraid of, and you can handle it. Like, the only other thing I can think of to say is if you get an older bike that's a steel frame, it's a lot heavier. But, I mean, I was 13, 14. My dad had a CRF 125 96, I think it was. It was steel frame, super heavy. Hated when I dropped it, but I could pick it up. And, you know, there's girls out there that ride street bikes and Harleys and stuff, and, you know, they got to pick it up sometimes. And, you know, full gear, it's a lot harder to pick it up. But if the person is capable to ride a bigger bike, a YZ 125, a 250, then they can handle it. So don't worry too much. I just read like a Thumper talk. It was like from 2016, so it's kind of late. The guy's like, I'd be scared my girlfriend would drop the bike and wouldn't be there to pick it up. You know, she'll be fine. We're a little bit tougher than you guys think. We do, like, birth babies and all. Just saying. So, yeah. Don't overthink it. Girls are tougher than you think. And Ricky Carmichael is 5'6". So, if that doesn't say it, I don't know what does. And they didn't have E-Start when he was racing. And I think that's all I have to say. Heavier bikes suck. Tall bikes suck. Really tall bikes. But your average height, you can handle it. It's not too bad. Okay, I gotta go. It's really cold. My son's about to wake up again. Bye.